Chicago Fire showrunner Andre Newman breaks down Herrmann's emotional sacrifice in the Season 13 final. Chicago Fire Season 13 ended with a bang, as the One Chicago shows wrapped for the year, and there was plenty to dissect. Arguably the most touching story arcs came when Herrmann realized he wasn't built for a desk job, and returned to being a regular firefighter, allowing long-term pal Mouch to take over as lieutenant, following an emotional conversation between the two. Newman talked about the scene between the two, Herrmann giving up his job for his friend, and how it's a kind gesture on his part in an interview with Screen Rant. She also discusses the probable consequences of this and how Pascal will have to handle it going ahead. She also discusses the possible effects of the swap on Herrmann and Mouch. View Newman's remarks below. Herrmann laid down his bugles for Mouch. What inspired that switch up in leadership, and what is their new dynamic going to look like going forward? Andre Newman. That's a fun one. That, again, was one that we knew from the beginning, because the moment he stepped on the stage, Dermot was so great. We were like, what's this going to look like? Are people going to be rooting for Pascal to stay? We wanted to build that over the course of the season, and we did, obviously culminating in the funeral where Mouch said, "We're here, we're your family, that's why you're here. We're here." Are we going to kick Pascal out? Was no longer an issue after that. I believe Pascal was locked in, unless he gets locked up. "You're the guy," Bowden said, describing Herrmann's path. "You must be the person for Mouch. What do you believe in the end, even if Pascal is trying to see if you can be the guy? Would you like to be the man?" And that's the question, obviously, he asks himself in the finale, and he decides, partly because of what that auditor said. You guys could be gone any minute, so the clock is ticking. I got the chance to be a lieutenant at the house. I want you to have that because you're my best friend, so it's such a sweet gesture. And for Herrmann, it feels right. It's a lot of pressure on Mouch now to step up and be a great lieutenant, which he will try to be, and it's a lot of pressure for Herrmann, who's now gotten a pay cut, to feed all the children at home. We have lots of stuff to play with going into next season, and how Pascal manages all that too. What this means for Chicago Fire Season 14. There is plenty to explore with this arc. Herrmann's decision is set to have wide-reaching repercussions for several characters. While it's great to see him give up his position for Mouch, it will be interesting to see how the men involved deal with this. As Newman states, Herrmann is taking a pay cut, which will impact family life, and Mouch will be under a new kind of pressure that he's not used to. It will be interesting to see how this shapes the arcs of both men heading into Chicago Fire Season 14. The other character to factor in this decision is Pascal, who, despite the show teasing a potential exit, seems to have secured his position. It will be interesting to see how he manages this, and how his position might impact Mouch and Herrmann in the future, particularly as much of the viewership would like to see them in positions of power. Pascal obviously needs to know that Mouch is the right guy for the job, and it will be interesting to see how the dynamic between them might change. Our take on Herrmann's decision. It felt like the right choice for the team. Herrmann's decision would have been a difficult one for him, but it is a decision that feels like it is right for the team. It also deepens the bond between Herrmann and best friend Mouch, two of the most beloved Chicago Fire characters. The move sets up a strong story arc for Season 14, and it will be interesting to see how both men are affected by this. Pascal's position has now been cemented, and moving forward with a new lieutenant could present fresh advantages, as well as fresh problems for the Chicago Fire team. Thanks for watching this video. Please subscribe my Fast Gossip 24 to our channel and stay with us.